Today, we're going to unpack the difference between chords with an add versus full extensions. Let's look into it. We're going to start with add 9 and ninth chords. We're going to track down the ninth note in the scale of the chord and add that note into the chord itself. If we have a C add 9 chord, we're going to track down the ninth note in the scale, which is the same as the second, and we're going to add it into the middle of our chord. So here, our note order becomes C, D as our added ninth, E, then G. We also do the same thing if we're doing it to a minor chord. So C minor add 9 would become C, D, E flat, G. If we're playing a C major 9, we're going to now extend the chord to include a ninth on the top. Now, because we're extending up, we also need to include the seventh note to bridge the gap between the fifth and the ninth. So here, the note order becomes C, E, G, B, D. And similarly, if we were doing a C minor 9, we would have C, E flat, G, B flat, D. Now you can exclude the seventh if you want to, but we notate that. So either in the specific notes if you've got sheet music, or in the chord symbol, we just add a bracketed no 7. Let's do another extension. We're going to do 11ths, and this time we'll look at D. So if we've got a D at 11, we're going to track down again that 11th note of the scale, which in this case is actually the same as our fourth, and we get a G. Now adding that G into the middle of our triad, we get D, F sharp, G, A. And same again, we can change that to a minor by having D, F, G, A. So for the full extended 11ths, we would have D major 11th, which would be D, F sharp, A, C sharp, E, G. And of course we've got the 7th and 9th in there as well to bridge the gap to our 11th note. And for D minor 11, we would have D, F, A, C, E, G. For our last example, we're going to tackle 13ths. So again, we're just extending that little bit further. Let's do G to keep it simple, sharps and flats wise. So our 13th note in G is E, the same as our 6th note. And unlike the previous examples, the 6th does change between major and minor. So previously we had the 9, which stayed the same between major and natural minor scales, which we were going off there, and the 4th, which also stays the same. But here, it's going to change between major and minor, so it's just another thing to be aware of. So starting with the G add 13, we're going to add that E as close as we can. We can't put it in between notes this time, but we can put it next to our 5th. So we get G, B, D, E. And now, when we change this to a G minor add 13, we're going to get G, B flat, D, and now E flat, our minor 6. So for the full extension, we've got G major 13, which gives us G, B, D, F sharp, A, C, E. Now we've got our 7, 9, and 11 in there, bridging the gap. And for the G minor 13, we have G, B flat, D, F, A, C, E flat. I hope that's clarified the difference between add chords and full extensions in root position. Let me know if you've got any questions at all, and I'll catch you next time.